uh, third continuous conference here. Joining us in this sixth panel today, the track is Technological Advancement in Data Analysis, Security, and AI-Driven Healthcare Solutions. We have been joined today with Dr. Vivek Sharma, who is from Sharda University, India. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Rajan.
And we have Dr. Hitesh from ABS, Amity Business School, Amity University, Lucknow. Dr. Hitesh, are you here? He will be joining us shortly. So without further ado, because I know that everyone is busy and it's a working day in India. So without further ado, let's start with the paper ID 54. Do we have paper ID 54 here? Paper ID 54. Okay, we are skipping for now. Paper ID 53. Paper ID 53. Paper ID 198.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
198.
Okay, great. You can please share your screen, and the screen and platform is yours now. Paper ID 198.
Someone else is sharing screen. Ishu, what's your paper ID?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
198.
Paper ID 198.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Ishu Rajan, please.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Our paper ID is 179.
179 will come after 198. So let's let
179. Ishu Rajan.
Yes, sir.
Our paper ID is 179.
179.
Yes.
I request everyone to please remember their paper ID, because the okay, I also have the list. Just give me a second, so that but it will be really easy if you can tell your paper ID. So 53 is automating data. I'll start from the beginning. So 53 paper ID is automating data analysis with Python, a comparative study of popular libraries and their application. This paper is here. If no, then paper ID 54 is deploying SPSS in digital market analytics, leveraging IT tools for informed business strategies. Is this paper ID here? If not, then the next is 164. The next is 198. That is a command line interface tool for efficient Git workflow command here. Is this paper here?
Yes, sir.
Please present.
Okay. Yeah, is my screen visible?
It is visible.
Okay. Just a minute. So cool. Hi, everyone. My name is Gautam, and together my friend Harshit Goyal will be presenting today a research paper on a command line interface tool for efficient Git workflow, which is named as Commandeer. So now, first of all, I'll be presenting you the abstract of the research paper and what exactly the research is all about. So together during our college days, we were while building projects, we did face a problem which is efficiently navigating through files with Git added into it. So let's say you're working on a large project and you wanted to open files in your ID related to Git command. So let's say you're working on a project and you wanted to open files which were changed into a particular commit ID, or you wanted to open or navigate to files which were related to, which are present in a staging area. So this is what all it is. So now this is exactly the whole abstract about the research. Now I'll try to explain you the introduction about it. So in today's software development lifecycle projects, what we see is it is extremely important to make quality software in high quality time. So let's say you're working on projects and together we know there are big projects out there, and easily navigating to them is also essential while building projects. So together we have built a command line interface tool which is known as Commandeer. So it is a feature-rich CLI tool which helped us to elevate the Git workflow by seamlessly integrating other IDs. So right now we have integrated Visual Studio Code, but again we can integrate much other IDs into it, either Sublime or BlueJ, anything else. So this is one thing. Also, now I'll like to explain the existing system. So now what happens is we have so if you see current tools out there, they have they have few limitations. So they have, first of all, limited integration with code editors. So if we see tools like Git, Kraken, or SourceTree, they absolutely have zero integration with IDs out there. So we decided to go with this. So we saw this problem statement, first of all, where we need to integrate our IDs first of all. So we went with VS Code because it is quite famous. This is one thing. Another thing is complex branching visualization. So another thing is whenever you open a project which has Git related into it, you see there are a lot of branches involved in it, and together it is very extremely difficult for a new beginner to see what it's very difficult for branching visualization out there. So this is one thing, and together it's a learning curve which makes it extremely difficult. So we saw these problem statements and we decided to build something which tackles all these three problems. uh, so yeah, the literature surface again. We needed to talk about what all things we the out like what all tools are out there and what problem statement are we solving. So this is again there are tools like Git, Kraken, and SourceTree you can see over there. So these are both good tools, but they have some limited they have capabilities which are not available which we have solved in our tools. So yeah, this is one thing. And now I would like to explain the architecture behind this. We have this diagram over here. So what we are essentially doing is we have we so yeah, we have our project which is known as Commandeer, which is essentially a CLI tool. So whenever you install this CLI tool, you can activate it through just a single command. So whenever you tap, so we named that command as Nix, which is a short form of Nixty, which was the name we decided to go with earlier. So Nix command, what you can do is you can type all these commands. There's a help command which will help us to know what all commands are available. So there are three commands which we have first of all gone with. First is staging, another is commit, and third one is recent. So for the first command, which is staging, what it will do is it will open all those staging files which are present in Git staging area directly into your preferred IDE. So right now, in this case, we are considering VS Code. So in a single command, which is Nix staging, it will open all your files into the VS Code. So this is one thing. Another command is commit. So commit usually works by applying a commit hash. So whenever you use a git log command, you will get a list of all the commit IDs, which is basically the hash 256-bit hash. So you can copy that hash and add those hash in our command. So what it will do is it will basically check what files were changed in that commit ID, and basically it will open all those files into your ID, which is again the VS Code. The third command is recent. So recent is just an abstraction of this commit command, where this will open all those files which were changed in the recent commit you made. So these are three things. Now I would like to talk on how are we doing this. So basically, what happens is Git already has a CLI, right? But the problem is what happens when we want to integrate that CLI with ID. This is one thing which we solve. So we took those Git commands, and with the help of shell scripting in Node.js, what we did is ran those commands along with the ID CLI. So in this case, VS Code has a CLI too, which is code. The name of that CLI is code. So combining these two CLIs with shell scripting, we are just opening those files in our IDE. So this is the proposed architecture. You can see over, we have a pseudocode sort of thing, which is written. So just I'll take few seconds to explain what this is actually doing is. So we have this open committed files function, which I talked about. There is a command known as commit, which gets in the commit ID. So we need to provide the commit ID to the CLI. With this commit ID, what first of all we are checking is Git folder present. So to check if a project has Git, we need to know if there is a .git file present in that folder. If it is present, we can be assured that this is a Git enabled project. So what we are essentially checking is Git folder present. If it is present, so this is a conditional key. If it is not present, we are again returning you haven't initialized Git to this folder or to this directory. And if it is present, we are again doing some more checks, which is we are checking is the commit ID which you have actually provided is a correct commit ID or not. So people out there can provide wrong commit IDs. So this is what we are checking, is the commit IDs is actually valid or not. Again, if it is not present, we are returning some error messages. And if it is present, we are checking we again go to another piece of code, which is this. So this is what shell scripting is. What we are doing is we are using the Git commands, which is this Git diff tree hyphen, like these are some flags, and passing in the correct commit ID. So this will return all those, this piece of code will return the files being changed in that particular commit ID. And then we are opening it through the code command out there. So this is an asynchronous piece of code which through which we have ran, and then there is a few other like error handling. If like there if an error happens, like so we are returning some sort of messages out there so that the developer knows the command hasn't ran successfully and they need to do it again. So this is one bit. Yeah, so now would like to talk about results and discussion. So we haven't actually got through the absolute metrics on what have been the benefits, but yeah, we are sure about that. There's an increased efficiency. So I'm comparing it with the workflow of myself, that previously what I do, and after this research what I do. So there's a lot of there's a difference out there. There's a time savings, there's productivity enhancement, and again there's collaboration, improved collaboration out there. So this is about results and discussion. Future enhancements. Yeah, so would like to talk a bit about future enhancements. So what happens is right now we have done the research on particular ID, which is VS Code, but there are a lot of IDs out there like Sublime, BlueJ, much more like Web, IntelliJ and all. So we can integrate all these IDs. This is one point where we can improve our product. Another thing is add additional version control system. So it's obvious that there are not single version control system like Git. There are other as well, like Mercurial or Subversion, which I've written over here. So these are two other version control system which are also widely used. So would like to integrate these version control system as well in our project. This is another thing. Improved IDs, these are another thing. And another thing is we would like to integrate much more commands. So right now we only have 3 commands, but again, yeah, we can enhance this to accommodate more, let's say more commands and all. So this is the future scope which we are aiming to solve. And yeah, these are the references. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much. I request session chairs to ask if any queries or questions are there. Thank you.
Hello, is I audible?
Yeah.
Have you used the standardized workflow?
Sorry, sir. What do you mean by standardized workflow? Couldn't get you.
There are the many workflows are there na, in this, like feature branching, Git flow workflow.
Okay.
Have you used that workflow, or you have used your own workflow?
So, sir, what we have done is, so essentially answering your question, we have used our own workflows. So this is something imperative style workflow where we are checking,
Because if you want to compare it with some other workflow, it's a comparative analysis. You should compare your work with the other person. So I would like to advise you that in the future you should use some other workflow, and you can compare your work with the others workflow.
Got it, sir.
Yes, it's over from my side.
Okay, so yes, definitely the workflow matters and you should work on it. And besides that, I would like to know like one library to talk about command here. Apart from this, which all other libraries are you using? Because there will be a compatibility issues also when you are integrating with other different platforms which are available in open source environment.
Yeah. Sorry, like couldn't get your question. What do I need to answer?
You have to answer what libraries are you using in your program.
Okay. So first of all, there are a couple of libraries. First of all, I'd like to tell this is a Node.js program. So, and there are few libraries involved. So to build the CLI, we have used Commander. That's a open source library, which is popularly used for other CLIs. Talking about the compatibility bit, I don't think that would be a problem per se because anyone who downloads currently this is only applicable to Unix environment. So let's say if you're having a Mac or a Linux, this program would be absolutely running fine on your system. But let's say someone is having Windows. So what compatibility issue would actually be like, there are commands which are specific to specific environments. So so let's say for Unix system, I've used code CLI, but for Windows, that might not be available. But we got some research and saw that there are commands which are again available for Windows and all. So we can make use of that so that we can solve all those compatibility issues.
Yes, okay, fine, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, any other questions?
No, next presentation.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for your presentation. And now I request paper number 179. Are you present? Paper number 179 is comparative analysis of cryptographic algorithm for data security in cloud computing.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Before
Good evening,
before you start, I just want to humbly remind you that we give 8 to 10 minutes for each presentation so that we can finish up in time. So kindly bear in mind the time limit. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, so good afternoon, sir. Here I am Vanshika Srivastava along with my teammates Ishu Rajan and Love Kumar, and also our professor Dr. Manoj Singhal. And we are here with a research paper which is comparative analysis on cryptographic algorithm for information security in cloud computing. It is basically a performance evaluation. So moving towards the next slide. These are the work. This is the flow of our presentation. First, the abstract, introduction, followed by literature survey, proposed architecture, analysis, and conclusion and references. So this is the abstract of of our research paper. So in today's world, people are sharing their sensitive data, sensitive or non-sensitive data on the cloud just by trusting the terms and conditions and the user agreement offered by the service providers. Even the large cloud service providers also claim that they are not responsible for any data breaches. So we have done a comparative study between several cryptographic algorithms on the basis of their encryption and decryption time performing on different data formats like text, images, and videos. So this is the introduction of a research paper. So there is a increasing number of businesses that generate a vast number of volumes data which they store in cloud directly. So clients who store their data on cloud always have a second thought about the security of the data over the cloud. So to do this, there we have number of security measures that can be performed, such as by using the cryptographic algorithms and data encryption that will enhance the data security over the cloud. Then moving towards the next slide.
So moving towards the next slide, the next topic of our PPT is literature survey. So what we have done, we have analyzed the past research done by the following authors. They infer that the data stored on the cloud is not secured. In a prospective way, that we can say the data is not encrypted, like in the case of Google Photos. Anyone can access the end user photo without any security or proper measures taken by the Google. So in the cloud storage, the challenges related to data security and backups are more than the extent. So what we have done, we have analyzed the past research using the compatibility of algorithms, Blowfish, AES with the following sizes: 128-bit, 198-bit, and the 3DES. What we have done, we have took a sample of data that that may be any type: image, text, audio, or maybe video. We have run our program 200 times. The program we have used is based on the Java technology. And these are the following hardware specifications that we have taken care of.
Good evening. So we took multiple file formats. First, we took document file and run these algorithms AES of 3 different versions: 128, 192, and 256, along with 3DES and Blowfish. We took the encryption and decryption times for respective algorithms for 3 different file sizes that are in 500 KB, 1 MBs, and 2 MB, and plot their chart after taking the average timeline. We used batch scripts to automate this process and run tests, and we have used Java inbuilt models, inbuilt files of Java classes to perform these actions. Similarly, we performed the test for video files along with the images for 3 different file sizes for each and every respective algorithms. So moving on to a conclusion, hence after this analysis part, we can conclude that although AES being most secure and widely used algorithm for cryptographic work, Blowfish algorithm is also a secure option for a average user or daily basis user, because it takes comparatively less amount of time to encrypt and decrypt the data, and when it comes to the large amount of data, the large size of the data, Blowfish can be effectively used by the user. So here we can suggest that Blowfish algorithm can be used for daily basis before uploading it to the cloud for added security. And here are the references which we have used. Thank you.
I'm having one question that
Yeah.
you have used only the small amount of the data, like the 2 MB for your storage on the cloud, or for the video streaming also.
Yes,
Then
sir.
how you came to the conclusion that for the large file and that Bluefish will be beneficial, it will be more secure?
Sir, on the daily basis, average user is more likely like us for
Because
using. Yes.
because for it is used for the large amount of the data, na? Because on the cloud we store on the
Yes.
network there is a large amount of the data is coming, but it's 1.2 is a small amount of the data. And
Yes,
how
sir.
you came to the conclusion?
So it is a small amount of data, but we are more focused on the common daily the user which uses cloud or for storage purposes on daily basis, like for storing small sized files, image files or text files on daily basis, not for the enterprise level data.
And which cloud you have used?
So we have not used any cloud. Our intention was being cloud. As we know, cloud already encrypts the data before uploading to their servers. Any type of data, they already encrypts the data. But we often we sees that the data is data breaches. So here we suggest we are suggesting prior to uploading the data to the cloud, user can or must encrypt their data by beforehand, and he can use Blowfish algorithm.
It's okay for myself.
Thank you, sir.
My question is, if you want the data to be encrypted before the uploading into the cloud architecture, then where do you see that this particular algorithm is going to help? And if you see and that this particular algorithm has a further scope to secure the data, then how will it work for that? I mean, pre-encrypted data is already there. Then where do you find the loopholes where this particular algorithm will work to make it more robust?
Sir, I guess, sorry, sir, can you please um, uh, clear it more,
I
what
mean
I
to
have to answer?
say, I mean to say, as you said that you want the data to be encrypted before it goes to cloud.
Yes, sir.
And then this particular algorithm will work to make the data more secure.
Yes, sir.
Then-
Added
So
advantage.
so my question is that where do you find these loopholes? Where you feel that data can be hacked or data breach can happen, and how this particular algorithm to protect that when the data is already encrypted? Where do you see this loopholes?
Yes,
Sir,
sir. So, sir, most probably there are more websites. There are many websites that allows us to extract the data stored on the cloud. Like there is a common attack, S3 bucket takeover, in cybersecurity. So, what people does in that attack, they found the bucket name and extracted using the AWS tool, and they run their own domain. So, what the people do, they after running the domain, so they run their malicious codes on those servers. So what we have seen generally, the data stored on that S3 bucket is taken off by the unauthorized access or the attacker. So this is a common disadvantage that an attacker can access the whole amount of data after taking over the S3 bucket. So on such type of attacks, we can implement our technique.
Yeah, I understand. But the only point is that when you are implementing the encryption tools, it is likely to be implemented in the gateways, the point where you are connecting two different types of networks. So you want to imply this in that particular point, or some this algorithm will work in some other ways also?
Yes, sir, you are right, sir. This can work, sir, as we have explained in our PPT, that this algorithm can work on the image, text, and audio, video as well. So, the any amount of data that you want to push to AWS or any other cloud, it may help, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
thank you so much for joining in. And next, we have paper ID 481. Is paper ID 481 present? Hybrid deep neural network for alpaca animal recognition.
Yes, sir. I am presenting.
Please share your screen.
Just a minute, sir.
And also keep in mind the time limit.
Can you see my screen? Is it visible?
It's visible.
Thank you, sir. Now, myself, Naresh Trivedi, I am presenting my paper, Hybrid Deep Neural Network for Alpaca Animal Recognition and Classification for achieving high accuracy in detection and classification. Now, my abstract of the paper is to identify, detect, and classify alpaca animal with the help of hybrid deep neural network. Now, this hybrid deep neural network consists of YOLO V5 plus some classifier algorithm, which we'll discuss later. Now, this module comprises of two features. One, with the help of YOLO V5, we use feature extraction, and then we have used some classification algorithm like naive classification algorithm that can classify the images accordingly. Now, with the help of this HDDN, we have achieved 98.53 with deep neural network and 98.02% classification with machine learning algorithm. Now, introduction. Alpacas animals are the member of camelid family. It is generally found in South American region. Now, as we know that the human caused environmental destruction that is causing the animal species to be extinct. Now, with the help of image identification and to capture the image in their natural habitat, we can try to identify, basically detect the animal and then classify them so that we can save them. First, we need to identify, then classify what is the animal and save them so that they will not extinct. That is the purpose of this study. Now, existing system, now we don't find any paper that can recognize, identify, and classify alpacas animal. We have find that some of the papers are available to find the lions, elephant, wild horses, foxes, pandas, and tigers. And the classification accuracy for these animals was 85.6%. Now, in some other paper, they have used deep CNN network, and basically CNN network rise like ResNet, DenseNet 121.169, MobileNet, and try to classify the images with the help of these ImageNet network with the classification accuracy of 96%. Now, some of the important literature survey we have specified in this presentation. The first paper indicate that they have used CNN neural network with 2 fully linked layer. Now, this model is they have used as a simplicity, but it is generating only 38.32% of classification accuracy. In other paper, they have used hybrid supervised learning algorithm for animal recognition. They have used linear discriminant analysis and reduces Gabor feature dimension. They have also used principal component analysis, and overall classification accuracy they have achieved 85.67. Now, this is our proposed architecture. In our proposed architecture, we have used YOLO V5 as the object detector, and for the classifier purpose, we have used random forest KNN naive-Bayes classification algorithm as part of the hybrid deep neural network, which we have proposed. The parameter we have kept, the number of parameter we have kept as minimum parameter, so that we can generate with sufficient precision. Now, you can see with the help of diagram, we have used the layer of the YOLO for the detection purpose, and we have used classifiers to classification purpose, for the classification purpose. Now, total in data sets, we have 1,120 images. That image is split between 2 categories. And the classification accuracy, we have got 98.02 with the machine learning, with the help of machine learning, and 98.53 with the help of deep learning network. Now, in our model, we take input as the images. The initial size of the images was 256 into 256, and we have used 11 into 11 convolution filter in the first layer. The total we have used 4-layer convolution network, and we have used 2-stride max pooling technique for the pooling layer. Now, these are the results which we have got with the help of hybrid deep learning model. You can see that the hybrid deep neural network is generating 98.05% of classification accuracy. With the help of deep learning DL models, we are getting 98.53% of classification accuracy. If we compare with this classification accuracy with other model, it is generating far better classification accuracy than the other model. Now, these are the comparison diagram of the algorithms, which we have seen earlier in this slide. We have presented in a graphical format deep learning models as well as machine learning models. In machine learning models, we have used random forest, naive-Bayes, and KNN algorithm for the classification purpose. Now, this is ROC analysis for the proposed model. We can see that the ROC model is quite near to 1, which indicates that the it is generating a good classification accuracy of the images. Now, this is basically a graph between epoch and accuracy. We have used maximum 50 epoch. And it is clearly showing that the hybrid DNN model is generating higher classification accuracy, and the loss is minimum. These all are the references which we have specified and used in our paper. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any questions from session members?
Sir, you have used, Professor, you have used many AI algorithms in that. And you are saying that you have achieved 98% accuracy. And you have also used the deep learning techniques. But according to the deep learning techniques, it should use the more data to, because the deep learning will work on the when the data is used. But do you think that the 1000 images it
Sir,
is
I do
good?
agree. The number of images were quite less.
Yes.
That is why
because that's why the accuracy is more.
Yeah, that is why both the model is generating more or less same accuracy, 98 point.
Because the machine learning models, the basic model like the KNN, when the data is small, then they work perfectly.
Absolutely right, sir.
And if you use the less amount of the images, then the complexity of your algorithm get increased, time complexity. Have you also compared the time complexity of your algorithm with the previous?
No, sir. We haven't compared the time complexity.
Okay, I will suggest you to you should also compare so that you can understand the basic flow of that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Next time we'll include time complexity also.
Okay, it's okay from my side.
Okay. Thank you. But before I bid you goodbye, I also have one question that because its topic is interesting. You have used a 11 by 11 filter. Generally, we use a 3 by 3 filter or a 2 by 2 filter. So why only this number 11 by 11?
Sir,
Was there any
if you see
optimization technique used or anything else?
Sir, you are absolutely right. If you see our fourth convolution layer, we have used 3 by 3 filter only.
So how did you reach to this decision that on first you have to use the 11 by 11 filter and a 3 by? Did you use any optimization technique?
Yes, sir.
I mean, did you run various hyperparameters and identified the result? Why did you reach to this particular number?
Sir, I don't know the exact reason for the number. We have tried the multiple option. Initially, we have used 11 by 11 filter. Basically, we have used 4 by 4 filter also, but the classification accuracy was not it is not generating that good classification accuracy. Then we switch over to 3 by 3 classification.
And what type of data are you using? Is it a live video feed, or is it an image?
So we have used images only.
So if you are using image, so why you have not used a convolution neural network instead of YOLO version 5?
Sir, we have used, see, this is the combination of nowadays. I do agree, as you are saying, that the YOLO is more preferable to use with the video rather than for the CNN is better for the image. Now we have used YOLO for image also, with the image also. We want to see what is the outcome we are getting with the help of YOLO. That was the only purpose.
And it is very surprising to see that your proposed hybrid DNN is giving better result than the pre-trained convolution neural networks like VGG16 and LXNet. These models are trained on millions of images because it's created by Google. So it's also really interesting that how it is giving the more accuracy. So interesting find as of now in your paper. And I wish you all the best. Any other question from any other panelist or session chair?
I think the suggestions are very important to accommodate in this paper, as when we are using k nearest neighbor, definitely such algorithms work only when we have got the sufficient data to work with. Otherwise, this precision, this accuracy cannot be achieved and we cannot reach out to any conclusion. So definitely data accumulation has to be done more precisely and to the point. Thank you.
Yes. I also suggest you to implement some image augmentation techniques to increase the data size.
Sure, sir.
And
So next time I'll take care of I have received the good suggestion. In next paper, I'll try to include all these suggestions.
okay, thank you so much for joining, sir. And next paper is 164.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm there.
Please share your screen.
Yeah. So I hope my screen is visible. Is it visible, sir?
Yes,
It is visible.
Okay, thank you. So I'm B.S. Satpute. I'm from Jain University, Bangalore. My colleagues are Vasudev Rahane. He is from NBN Sinhagad, Pune, and Rajesh Bharti. He is from DY Patil Institute of Technology, Pune. So our topic for today is convolutional neural network based Alzheimer's disease detection using OSS dataset. So this is our outline of the presentation: abstract, introduction, literature survey, then proposed architecture, results and discussion, and conclusion and future enhancements. So this is the abstract, the Alzheimer's disease overview. So the Alzheimer's disease is identified as a neurological disorder causing the brain cell degeneration. It has a direct correlation with the onset of the dementia. The primary symptoms listed are difficult in retaining the recent memories, and it's inefficient in carrying out the routine task. It is very difficult to carry out the routine task with this Alzheimer's disease, right? So the neurological context is the study here highlights the critical impact of the Alzheimer's on the memory and cognitive functions. So the brain cell loss. So brain cell loss is identified as a kind of gateway to multiple dementia-related conditions. Then cascading effect on memory and day-to-day functionality. So there is a cascading effect on this loss on memory and daily functionality. Then we have CNNs. We see the potential of CNNs. CNN as the it's a frontier in artificial neural networks specialized in image recognition. So the CNNs are described as a leading technology in the domain of artificial neural networks, particularly for the image recognition. Then the primary aim of utilizing CNN in this context is to diagnose Alzheimer's in its early stages. Right? So the methodology here involves extracting patterns and features from the medical imaging data to identify kind of subtle indicators of Alzheimer's before the symptoms become kind of visible or apparent. So then the introduction. The global impact we have in the globally 55 million affected by dementia worldwide, and out of that nearly 70% or 38.5 million attributed to Alzheimer's. And the result of that is loss of memories, decreased social interaction, and compromised routine tasks. Then the hope in early detection, the current status is no absolute cure for this Alzheimer's. Then potential in the early stage detection, declaration of disease progression. So if we identify the disease in the early stages, so can potentially slow the progression by using the medications or with the help of doctor. See, the early detection offers a crucial time frame of for the therapeutic intervention. Then we have the complexity of Alzheimer's. So the Alzheimer's does not only impact memory, it affects the analytical reasoning, judgment, decision making, and task execution of the affected person. There are behavioral changes such as dependency, aggression, mood fluctuations, and uh, these are the common symptoms which you observe observe in the person who probably will face this disease. So these symptoms arise from the alterations, complex alterations in the brain structure and function. So we have then advancements in technology and research. So the rise in the machine learning applications for Alzheimer's, right? So machine learning, especially in its applications for Alzheimer's diagnosis, has been on the rise in the interest and development. Interestingly, it is helping the doctors or the medical people to identify this Alzheimer's in its early stages. There is a strong emphasis on scholarly research to discover the novel diagnostic methods. The CNNs
I am really sorry to disturb you here. Can you please go little fast and discuss more on the methodology, as we are having time constraint of just 10
Okay, sir.
minutes.
Okay, no
Discuss
problem.
also.
No problem.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, no problem. So I'll skip literature survey as well. So I'll talk about the data set used here. So we use the Oasis MRI data set, which consists of near about 80,000 brain MRI images. This data set is taken from Kaggle. So the categories of the Alzheimer's are there are 4 categories of the Alzheimer, how it progresses. These are like very mild dementia, moderate dementia, mild dementia, and non-demented. So these are the 4 categories in which these images are categorized, right? So then we did some pre-processing on the images, like image adjustment, resizing of the images, and normalization on the images. So this is the typical architecture of CNN, as we have used CNN or convolutional neural network. So the CNNs are the subset of a deep neural network. They are specialized in data forms of like images, videos, and speech, etc. So the unique convolution operation for there is a unique convolution operation which is the crux of this CNN, and that operation is for 2D visual data extraction. So the key layers and their roles, there are mainly 4 layers in CNN. First is input layer, where we input the image data, visual data. Then we have convolutional layer for extracting the spatial features via filters or kernels. Then we have pooling layer, and that pooling layer subsamples in the spatial dimensions and retains essential information. Then finally, we have the fully connected layer, which grasps the intricate relationship for the decision making. So then enhancements and iterations, integration of multiple convolutions and pooling layers. We can put multiple convolution layers and pooling layers for enhancing the performance of the CNN, and by doing more iterations of those layers, we can get the better result. We have the ReLU activation function for dynamic and expressive computations. So the essence of CNNs is, symphony of architectural layer and operations. It comprehends spatial hierarchies and patterns, and it pioneers in image analysis, redefining AI's visual data engagement. Then this is the pooling operation, convolution operation in CNN. We basically what we do is we move the kernel or the filter over the image, right? So by taking some stride and performing the convolution operation. So the crux of the process is the pattern recognition and data sharing, decoding the tiny details to grasp the overall image. So pooling layer, the purpose is to post convolution, reduce the data dimensions, retain the significant information. The analogy we can think of like, selecting essential parts of a beautiful painting to create a smaller yet meaningful version, right? From we will, by using pooling layer, we extract the essential features. So it's a summarizing technique, various methods like max pooling, average pooling, etc. as used. So in the proposed architecture, we have here, we can see here we have the two convolution layers, then batch normalization, then ReLU activation, and then pooling, and then dropout. A dropout is a regularization technique we use to, for getting rid of the overfitting or or underfitting, maybe, this dropout is used for that purpose. Then we have another layer of convolution, batch normalization, ReLU, pooling, and dropout. Then we have finally fully connected layer, and then fully connected, from fully connected layer we get the result. The kernel size used here is 2 by 2. The max pooling kernel is again 2 by 2. The stride we took is 2 by 2. The activation function in the convolution layer is a ReLU, and finally in the fully connected layer we use the soft max activation function. So this is the model loss which we got. The graph depicts the model loss for both testing and validation datasets over a series of epochs. An epoch in deep learning refers to one complete forward and backward pass of all the training examples. The observations here are, there is a rapid initial decrease for the test set. There is a steep decline in the loss during the initial epochs, indicating swift learning and optimization. After that, we have stabilization. After the initial epochs, both the test and validation losses begin to stabilize, showing that the model has potentially reached an optimal state. Then validation versus test, the validation loss is consistently lower. You can see the validation loss here is denoted by this orange line, and then the test loss is indicated by this blue line. So the validation loss is consistently lower than the test loss, suggesting that the model is performing slightly better on the unseen data compared to its performance during the training. Then these are the outcomes. We have some test cases. We saw here 3 test cases are shown. The first test case, the classification, we got that for image, the classification as moderate dementia. The confidence level is 99.99%. And then the second test case is the second image is classified as very mild dementia. The confidence level is 55.31. So it demonstrates models adaptness at distinguishing subtle differences. Then the third case is again for mild dementia with the confidence level of 73.1. So the conclusion and future enhancement, the results are promising. CNN's confidence level span between 99% and 55%. It reflects the CNN's capability to make strong predictions even in ambiguous cases. So the confidence level indicates what's the what is the whether the image is ambiguous. If the image is ambiguous, then the confidence level is low. So then the forward path is AI in medical diagnosis. CNNs show case immense potential in disease detection, significant contribution to early Alzheimer's detection. So the benefits are it provides critical insights for both patients and healthcare professionals. The future endeavors are continuous refinement of techniques, aim for more breakthroughs in medical image analysis, and contribute to enhancing the precision and speed of the disease detection methods. So thank you so much. Questions, please.
So you have in your research, Professor, you have used the activation function ReLU in your research. Is there any specific reason to use that ReLU activation function?
So ReLU, basically, ReLU was invented in early 2012. So prior to that, there were activation functions like TANH and then this TANH and other activation functions. But the problem with them was the vanishing gradient problem. Because of that, the neural networks, we could not train the deep neural network. But with the advent of ReLU, we can train really deep neural networks, and we can get rid of this vanishing gradient problem. So that's the main reason why people use ReLU activation function.
And the second question is what is the time effect? How much is the delay when the computation take place according to the CNN? And
Delay means
because when you increase the activation function, when you use the deep learning techniques,
what?
definitely the time will get delayed because the complexity will get increased.
Yeah, it depends on
Because
the hardware, sir. Which hardware, what kind of hardware you are using. It depends on that. You know. So if we have
but can you use the parallel computing in that? The
parallel
CUDA
computing,
programming because there are the several images you are using.
yeah, 80,000, nearly 80,000 images we are using. But
Yes.
yeah, to train the, we in fact divided the data set into training and testing in 70-30 proportion. So roughly, 24,000 images were used for testing and remaining
Because I
for.
will suggest you that you should use the parallel programming into also that aspect. Otherwise, if you do the normal computing systems, it will take more time.
Yeah. I do agree, sir, because we have less hardware. We are as of now we have not used parallel computing, but we have tried to use a server with, let's say, an i7 processor or i7 13 generation processor with 16 GB of RAM, and then the graphics card, NVIDIA graphics card of 6 GB. That kind of hardware we have used. So on that, we took significant time to train. But definitely, if we use parallel processing, as you said, we can get.
Because I want to suggest you that you also compare, also find out how much time it's taking algorithms when computing all these images.
Yeah, time
Also
complexity.
consider that, yes, time complexity you should consider in your parameter.
Yes, sure, sir, sure, definitely, sir.
It's all from my side.
Yeah.
This is a very good paper and very informative also.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, but there is one suggestion you can say, since it is going to work for the medical practitioners,
Right.
and there are other underlying factors also when you are uh, evaluating the root cause of the disease, like it is for identification of dementia.
Right.
So the under other underlying factors should also be considered while talking about such kind of symptoms in any particular age group and other demographic factors. I
Right.
think that could be accommodated and that would be a value addition to such kind of good research.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Definitely, we'll consider this for future purposes.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Even I would like to ask some questions. Like you have around 80,000 images, right?
Right, sir.
And in your accuracy versus loss curve, I was just saying you have just used around 20 or 25 epochs. Even with the i13, i7 processor, it looks like a really less number of iteration, because even I use the GPUs and it always breaks down. So would you like to share some light on that? Why just 20 or 25 epoch, or were you using any callbacks method?
No, sir, because actually, for if we train for more epochs, definitely the time required will be more. That's why we restricted
So
for
how you
only.
were able to generalize the outcome? I mean, in that case, the model would not have converged properly if the number of
Um,
epochs were not
yes, sir.
sufficient.
That the graph which we shown, we got that graph loss. Loss was stabilized. So so that time we thought, we should stop the trading.
Do you have the information about the loss function which you have used in this model?
Loss function I have not. The information is not included here for about the loss function, sir.
Second thing is that you have used the dropout
Yeah.
function, obviously, because it's a 80,000 image. So how much was the ratio of the dropout function which you used?
Dropout, like exact number I don't know, I don't remember, but we dropped out, let's say, for example, 10 neurons ratio. Yeah, ratio I don't remember, sir. Ratio I have not calculated the ratio. It's randomly I did something.
All right. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Very
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
Next paper is 346. 346, Rise of Virtual Health Assistants. Is it here?
Yes, sir.
Please share your work.
Sure, sir.
And I really request you
Hello.
to please take care of the time allotted to you because I think we are running short on time. So thank you.
Sure, sir. Good evening to all of you. My name is Vishal Dutt, and I'm going to present a paper titled The Rise of Virtual Health Assistant, Chatbot-based healthcare support and counseling using recurrent neural network. So this is my work, the flow of my presentation. Now, after seeing the flow of presentation, I'm going to explain about my abstract. Okay, so this is the abstract of my paper, which in which we have included some of algorithms like LSTM and RCNN, and we have achieved the 90.20% accuracy in our proposed model. Basically, the introduction of my paper based on the VHAs, that is the virtual health assistants, and after reviewing many of literatures based on the VHAs, we have got to know about the characteristics of these VHAs. Like it is very cost effective and very helpful to the medical practitioners. And basically it works in various domains, in which some of the domains like teledermatologies, virtual assistant, which are positively impact on patients' health. And the Javris highlights the promises of the virtual health assistants. Basically, this paper explores the rising popularity of chatbots based on the VHAs. These are the helpful tools for medical practitioners to predict and analyze the patient's health information. After the reviewing some of the literature based on VHAs and these kind of technologies, we have concluded some of the points like in this summarized table. Okay, now we have found some of the gaps from these literature reviews that needs further investigation in this technologies. Basically, two or more the gaps we have identified, that is the accuracy of the prediction and basically the trust analysis. How much accuracy, how much accurately the your system, your proposed system is predicting the problem, and the basically helpful in health diagnosis. Okay, so to overcome from these problems, we have proposed a model and used a data set that includes some of the attributes like patient ID, age, gender, ethnicity, admission type, ICU type, admission diagnosis, vital signs, laboratory results, and medications. These are the this is the basic database structure we have used. And for this data set, we have implemented the LSTM model. And this is the workflow of our LSTM model. Basically, it is the traditional, it is the optimized model, and some hyperparameter tuning we have implemented and applied to make it more optimized model. After applying the LSTM based model on the given data set, we have achieved some accuracy like is 87.60%, and the precision is 84.6%. We have achieved the recall and F1 score is near about 85%, 82 and 86.2%. This is our this is the result of our proposed model. This is the basically the comparison between some other algorithms for the same data set and our proposed model. This is the confusion matrix of our classification model. And after the discussion, after the discussion and analysis of the whole paper or whole the study, we have introduced some, we can introduce some health assistant bots by implementing the LSTM or RCNN based techniques and achieving the higher accuracy. Basically, some of the algorithms can achieve higher accuracy on the different datasets. But in this study, we have used 1100 records for various various patients, and this data set is taken from the Kaggle repository. So after in the conclusion, we have implemented the model which uses the RCNN and LSTM based algorithms models that increase the accuracy and prediction rate for the diagnosis of the patient's healthcare. That's it from my side, sir.
It's okay for myself.
Okay.
Can you please
Yes, sir.
please tell us something about the analysis part, what you have analyzed and how this was analyzed?
Yes, sir. We have analyzed, first of all, we have pre-processed the data and handle the missing values and noisy data. Then after, we have find the symptoms of the patient and analyze the basically what is the diagnosis of that patient, and we can apply the model's prediction performance, and we have found how many patients are suffering from the specific disease and how we can give them a treatment. So basically, our model is based on the prediction of that particular disease, because the patient data set has multiple diseases related to a specific patient. So we have classified that.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Even I have a question for you that it's a chatbot which we are creating, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you're using a LSTM approach, it also suffers from various problems like vanishing gradient problem, and computationally also it's very expensive. Why
Yes, sir.
have you not tried transformers, which is really popular these days, like ChatGPT and all these BERT algorithms are also there, and these are superior algorithms than LSTM.
Yes,
So
sir.
you
These
should
are
have
also very superior and comparatively, but we have right now implemented the LSTM, sir. Yes, of course, we can implement these two in the future scope.
maybe for future work.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for joining in. All the best to you. And can we have the paper ID 347 now? Paper ID 347.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm also presenting it too. So
you're presenting this 347 as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please present that as well. Share your screen.
Is my screen visible, sir?
It is visible. Please go ahead.
So the next paper, the topic is the AI-driven drug discovery, that is unrelieving the potential of generative adversarial networks, that is GNNs, in pharmaceuticals research. The presentation flow is abstract, introduction, literature survey, methodology, result, discussion, conclusion, references. So in the part of abstracts, basically the AI transformed drug development encompassing COVID-19 drug pre-positioning and leather flaw detections. Basically, this research is based on the COVID-19 cases. Okay, like unlike the like the COVID-19, many of the doctors and medical practitioners are facing some issues regarding the identification of diseases and prescribing the accurate medicines. So can the GAN based systems help to the doctors to find the correct treatment and prescriptions for the patients? So to analyze these things, we are going to research on this particular topic. For the introductions, basically the introduction says about the AI technologies for drug discovery systems, like mycin and automated system that can help the doctors to identify the correct disease for a specific patient and to prescribe the correct or appropriate prescriptions or treatments to the specific patient. Basically, for studying this domain or this problems, we have studied multiple literatures regarding the identification of these AI-based systems and their capabilities. So after the identifying or studying these literatures, we have some summary over there. That is the methodological part and results. We have found some gaps or research gaps in these studies, and basically there are some common gaps found in those studies, that are the need of AI norms in cyberspaces and standardization of AI based systems basically. And most commonly problems are there, that is the accuracy and prediction rate of the particular system. So we have implemented the JN based systems to overcome and trying to overcome of these problems. This is the basic training algorithm, the pseudocode for JNs. And we have used a data set divided into three parts. That is the information category and number of records. What are the informations we have gathered from the data set, basically. And the second part of the data set is the biological target and of the number of records. And the last one is the chemical classification according to the number of records. These three, basically this is a one data set, but we have divided it into three parts for the understanding purposes. After implementation of the GN based algorithm, we have some achieved some accuracy, precision, recalls, and basically performance metrics. That is this 85% of accuracy. But actually, in this study, we have analyzed multiple records. I can say that the maximum records that we can process on a single machine. But in the future scope, as a future scope, we can work with the visuals also, like image data or video data. If we can also use some machine learning model, specialized machine learning model to identify disease from these visuals using GNs. As the accuracy of the GN is 85% with the precision of 83% and recall 87%. The sensitivity rate and specificity rate is 87 and 82 for finding negatives and positives capabilities of the model. After this, in the discussion part, we are using these GNs and found very helpful to identify the problems and making the prediction for better treatment or medications. In the conclusion, we are going to conclude that the problem is based on the patient side as well as doctor side or practitioner side. So AI can help, or AI based system can help in to overcome these problems, and the GN plays a vital role to identify these outcomes or these problem solutions in better way. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Professor, can you tell me what is the data set used for that is generated from the GAN?
Sorry, sir.
How you generated the data set from this?
So,
GAN,
sir, actually,
and how much is that data? What is the amount of that data?
Yes, sir. We have not generated the synthetic data. We have acquired the data from the data repositories, from various different repositories, for finding three basic data parts. That is from one data set. In the first data set, we have gathered the information category of the number of records, multiple number of records, and the second part holds the biological targets of the specific patient, like nuclear reporter, ion channels, and the third part is based on the chemical classification based data set. These three data sets are acquired from the data repositories.
Then how you calculated the amount of the drug?
Sorry, sir.
How you calculated the amount of the drug?
Sir, actually, the data set contains the amount of drug for the particular patient, how much drug he consumes or he is supposed to be consumed by the doctor.
So do you follow some specific guidelines, or are you following some practitioners'
No, sir.
advice?
No, sir. No, sir. Actually, we are our result is based on the decision or target variable given in the data set.
Okay, but that target, are they targeted, validated by someone?
Sir, actually, the data set is verified by the publishing domain publishing company. Like we have used
Is
the
it in the
data set.
is it related to the medical?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you should also specify that types of the things in your research.
Yes, sir. In the next paper, we can incorporate it, sir.
It's okay. It's okay for myself.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I think the standardization of data needs to be done. When you are considering such a important research topic,
Yes,
the
sir.
data standardization of certain key parameters have to be fixed.
Yes, sir. It should be standardized, sir. We'll mind it for the next.
Okay, thank you so much. And even I have one small doubt that this paper talks about the use of GAN.
Yes, sir.
But I do not see the use of GAN here. I mean, it's a generative algorithm, so you're not generating anything. How it is being used, I'm not able to understand as of now.
Sir, actually, this model is generating the prediction results, not the new thing for patients. It
But
basically,
GAN is not a classification algorithm.
Classification.
GAN is
Yes, the
a
same question is
generative
from my side
algorithm.
also.
You need to generate something. You generate some data itself. It creates a fake data. The use case of GAN is it creates a fake data. If you're not generating anything, why you are using GAN? I mean, the classification can be done by any machine learning algorithm.
yes, sir. Sir, I think it is based on sorry, this gen is used to obviously it generates the synthetic data, but for making the accuracy better, we are using this kind of algorithms.
But the thing is that the GAN is not a classification algorithm.
Yes, sir.
It increases the accuracy by generating the new data, because in medical problems, the data scarcity is an issue. So it generates a new data so that the machine can learn better. I think it should
It is
have
not
been
a classification technique. Yes.
yes, so it should have, but I'm pretty sure you are the researcher here. You must be having some things in your mind. With that said, thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Do we have paper ID 475 here? Development of
Yes,
variable
sir.
diagnostic.
Yes,
Please.
sir, I'm here.
Please share your screen.
Good afternoon to all. I'm Rashmi.
Just to remind you, we are really running short on time, and
Yes, sir.
please.
I'll not take much time.
No, I mean, please share your result. Just keep in mind
Yes,
that.
sir.
I'm sorry. Please continue.
So I'm here presenting a work on the development of wearable jacket, which is used to treat hyper and hypothermia patients. This is the outline of the presentation. Moving on to the abstract, actually hypo and hyperthermia, they are related to the temperature, especially in the newborn babies, or where the temperature conditions are very extreme. The people who are in that extreme environmental condition, they will be subjected to either severe cold or severe hot temperature. So it leads to a lot of problems, issues in human beings, and if it is not treated, even it can lead to death. So in this work, we have developed a wearable smart jacket wherein we have used some sensor inputs from the smartwatches as well as a Peltier module. It is placed inside the jacket in order to treat the hyper or hypothermia patients. Moving on to the instruction, as I mentioned, especially the newly born babies, many of them suffer from this hypothermia disease, and if the treatment is not given on time, then it leads to the death of the people. Then moving on to hyper and hypothermia cases, like if the temperature is less than 35 degrees, then it is called as hypothermia, and if it is greater than 38 or 40 degrees centigrade, then it leads to hypothermia. Any temperature above that, that is really very harmful for the human beings. They may suffer from heart strokes and dehydration. And this trend, the graph, it shows how many children, newborn children, they are suffering from this hypothermia disease. And these are the few effects of hyper and hypothermia. So when we have hypothermia, that is when the temperature is very less, we have to shrink our body, or we need to have a mechanism wherein we try to increase the body temperature. When the for hyperthermia cases, the excess of heat, it has to be released. So for that, like we have some methods wherein like we can increase sweating and then remove the clothes. So all these are done, but when the people are, especially like for military applications and all, when the people are working in extreme terrain, it is very difficult for that. People have started developing the smart jackets. The smart jackets are available, but Peltier module, which is placed inside and which grabs the information from smart watches, that is what the new thing which we have tried. Moving on to the literature survey, we had done survey on to find out what is the impact of hyper and hypothermia, and then what is the trend. That is one area where we have explored. And then wearable jackets, and then the communication methods. We also have tried using GSM, so that the caretaker or the patient's relatives or the guardian will get to know about the information if a person is suffering from hypothermia, so that they can initiate the necessary medical facilities to their reach. Moving on to the proposed architecture, basically the information from the pulse oximeter, temperature sensor, they are given to the Arduino. Then based on the information which is collected from Arduino will send will communicate with the Peltier device, so that the Peltier device either it will increase the heat or decrease the heat depending on the requirement. If the person is suffering from hypothermia, then the temperature has to be increased. Earlier they were trying, the more sensitive part in human body to the temperature are form and food. So earlier they were trying to develop some kind of socks, but these smart jackets will be very helpful than the socks or the gloves. The components which we have used in our work, these are the components which we have used: temperature sensor, humidity sensors, and pulse rate sensor, and aluminum foil, wherein like it will be attached to the human body, through which the Peltier module will be connected. Peltier module, it will like if the temperature is more, it will try to reduce it. It uses P and N time semiconductor with a material in between, such a way that either we will be able to increase the temperature or decrease the temperature. And for communication, we have used GSM module. So this is how the connection is rigged up. And then this is a module which is placed inside this jacket. And if there is an hypothermic condition, a green LED will glow. This is how we have configured. And then an LCD display, which indicates what is the actual condition, that blood pressure, body temperature, those things, and humidity. These are the three parameters which we have measured. And if it is hyperthermia, then red LED will glow, and that information, it is indicated here. And whatever the information which is there here displayed, the same will be communicated to the person's relative. That is first the person whom it is they have to be contacted. The Peltier module inside, depending on the temperature sensed, for this case, it will try to increase the body temperature so that the first aid can be given to the person. We will be able to avoid dehydration or death to that person. So the major contributions were using the wrist watches, which are smart. So the information from those sensors, it is taken And along with that, two more sensors we had used, and then that is used to control the temperature of the Peltier device, and the same is being communicated. The problem with the existing system is the variable jackets, they are not washable, so we need to have a mechanism wherein we will be able to wash and reuse those jackets. And overall weight of the jacket, it is really heavy with all these devices incorporated, therefore we have to look at how we can reduce. And for newborns right now, what they're doing is they're keeping them in the incubator. If there is a possibility that whether we can have a small jackets for newborns, that we are trying to work on. These are the references, and thank you.
Ma'am, it's a nice work that you are doing on making such a kind of a nice jacket. But I'm having one question.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, why you are using GSM?
So mainly to communicate. Now what happens is like
Ma'am, see, you are also connecting it through the smartwatches. If a person he is wearing the jacket, the same can be communicated through this short range technology, like the Bluetooth and the infrared radiation.
sir, GSM, it is used to communicate to the people who are not close by. For example, if
Yeah,
his
ma'am,
relatives.
that's what I'm saying. If that data goes to your smartwatch or your phone, na, through that from that you can communicate, so that you can reduce the cost also. Because
Yes,
and the second thing, I want to know how much is the cost to develop such jackets.
So right now for all these modules together, it had come around 4 to 5,000. With proper configuration, I think still we will be able to reduce and bring it down to 2 to 3,000. But the reliability of the jacket, that is what that it has to be ensured, sir, because now we just made it and put it on the jacket. If the soldiers were climbing the steps or
Yes,
like when they're walking, whether it is
that
really reliable, that test we had to carry it on, sir.
yeah, that to be taken care of, because the short range communication device, they will be more helpful in that type of the communication, because our smartwatches,
Bluetooth
the
communication,
Bluetooth
that we
communication.
have used in order to control the Peltier device, the Peltier module, sir. Bluetooth communication only we have used for Peltier module control. For long range, we thought like that may not be sufficient, and we have tried GSM. Maybe
Yes,
like
ma'am, what I'm saying that if you are having a smartwatch.
yes, sir. We will try to communicate. So you're not audible.
Okay, I think, do we have any other question from session chairs?
Okay, from my side, it's okay.
Okay, so it was a really nice, interesting project, and I wish to see it in market soon, because I think there's a lot of use cases for such kind of interesting projects. So thank you so much for the presentation. And can we move to the next presentation, which is the number 53? Number 53, we have automating data analysis with Python. Do we have 53 here?
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, please.
First of all, good afternoon, sir, and to all the presenters here.
It is a paper ID 53, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. So the topic of the research is an optimized fine language recognition using convolutional neural networks, KNNs, and TensorFlow. The contents of the PPT are mentioned as the sequence will go from abstract and following introduction literature for your proposed architecture till the references. Abstract part in areas like business, finance, and science, data and analysis plays a very important role. Data analysis needs to be automated to improve productivity and eliminate human error as data volumes and complexity grow. Python is a well-liked language for automated data analysis because its ease of use and broad library support. For automated data analysis, we are evaluating many well-used Python libraries such as Python and Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Scikit-learn, and TensorFlow is used in this step. We evaluate the usability and computational efficiency and accuracy of these libraries when performing various data analysis tasks. We also go into great length of the uses of each library in various sectors as well as its benefits and drawbacks. Our study shows that the user's level of experience and the type of data analysis task both affect the library choice. We came to the conclusion that choosing the right library is crucial for automating data analysis using Python and significantly affects the accuracy and efficiency of the study. The abstract part also includes the introduction, but I would like to repeat a few lines. The rapid growth of data in the 21st century necessitates automated data analysis to uncover insights efficiently and accurately. Automated data analysis is crucial for organizations to make data-driven decisions, optimize processes, and gain a competitive edge in various sectors like healthcare and finance. Python, as discussed, the popular language for automatic data analysis due to its simplicity, flexibility, and extensive library support. Now here are a few of the literature surveys that I found very useful for the topic. The author 10 conducted a study on the popularly used data analysis libraries like NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib for analyzing their performances in data analysis work. They find out that these libraries are effective in doing the work related to data analysis, and among these, NumPy is the most efficient one for numerical computations. Then the usefulness of Python modules and frameworks for data analysis and visualizations was assessed by the authors 11. In this study, popular libraries included NumPy, the Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Plotly were compared to see how effectively a range of data analysis and visualization tasks are done. Here is the proposed architecture, which shows how the cycle of our project will work. The first step is, as seen, is data collection. Then it will go to cleaning, exploratory data analysis known as EDA, statistical analysis, machine learning, time series analysis, and then the result and conclusion part. Here are the graphical representation of our model's result. Here in the first graph, we can see various libraries mentioned and the comparative study of different libraries using data analysis. The green, the green the green plot represents the accuracy, the orange one represents ease of use, and the gray one represents their performance. And as we can see, pandas, uh, pandas and TensorFlow, along with Seaborn, has a very good average. The second one here we can are the second one is of the execution time comparison, in which we have the same number of the same libraries are compared, and here we can see that the library named NumPy and Vex take the least time, hence are better than the other pandas and dash. The third one here represents the graph of memory use comparison, and we can clearly see that the Vex and NumPy are taking very less amount of time, very less memory, and hence they are the best for the model. Here is the result and discussion part. In terms of ease of use, Pandas and Seaborn were determined to have better user-friendly interface as compared to NumPy and Matplotlib. However, for making complicated visualizations, Matplotlib and Seaborn provide a greater customizability choice. The different libraries, Scikit-learn, TensorFlow, and Keras, have been found to have steeper learning curves because of their impressive emphasis on machine learning and deep learning. In terms of computational efficiency, the most effective library for managing huge data sets and numerical computation was found to be NumPy. Even Pandas are very effective, but it may take longer to process large size data sets. Keras and TensorFlow are great options while training deep learning models due to their capability to operate the GPUs. In our research, we discovered that every library provided precise results for the analysis we needed. The accuracy of the outcomes, however, may differ based on the task and data being analyzed. Research additionally highlights how crucial it is to choose the best module for each data analysis task. The study's findings can assist researchers and data analysts in reducing mistakes, speeding up the analysis process, and improving analysis accuracy. Overall, the study can aid in decision making by giving a better understanding of Python libraries for data analysis, which will lead to improved results in a variety of fields. Now, the future enhancements. This study examined the efficiency and effectiveness of six well-known Python libraries for our data analysis automation works. Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Scikit-learn, and TensorFlow are the libraries that were analyzed on metrics such as efficiency, ease of use, and the accuracy. The findings of the study pointed that pandas and NumPy were highly efficient for the data processing and cleaning, while for machine learning and deep learning tasks, scikit-learn and TensorFlow were better suited. For data visualization, Matplotlib and Seaborn were shown to be effective. The outcomes of this study have the potential to enhance the data analysis tasks in different domains. Future work could focus on new Python libraries for data analysis, merging to build up more thorough processes and investigating the use of Python libraries for scalability and real-time data analysis. To achieve the best results while automating data analysis operations using Python, it is essential to use the appropriate library. The study provides significant details of the strengths and weaknesses of different Python libraries for data analysis. This can be very helpful for selecting the best and the most suited tool for specific tasks and will improve decision making areas including business, academic research, finance, healthcare, and marketing. Here are a few of the references mentioned in the paper. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from the session? Cheers.
No, it's okay. Thank
You talked about the libraries NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. You haven't made the use of statistics.
Yes, sir. Can you repeat?
I said you talked about using NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. You haven't made the use of any statistical tool, statistics library.
Yes, sir. We have used the library of Python like the Matplotlib for the visual representation of the data.
And the statistics?
And the TensorFlow is also used.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. And can we have the last paper of this track, paper number 54 now?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Deploying SPSS and digital market analytics. Deploying SPSS and digital market analytics.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
So I'm Jatin Thakur and today I'm going to present my research paper deploying SPSS in digital market analytics, leveraging IT tools for informed business strategies. So here are the contents that we are going to discuss in this paper: abstract, introduction, picture survey, workflow diagram, proposal, graphical results, and future examples. Let's come out in abstract. SPSS is a statistical software that has become increasingly popular in market research due to its ability to evaluate larger data sets and produce insightful results. This study aims to explore how using SPSS in market research enhances the accuracy of data analysis, the ability to recognize market trends, forecast, and consumer behaviors, and develop effective marketing strategies. The study analyzes the variables that affect SPSS performance in market research and how they can be improved to enhance insights and decision making. Surveys and interviews with marketing professionals were used to collect the primary data for the research. Introduction. So the paper aims to evaluate the SPSS market research tools which are widely used for data analysis, statistical modeling, and predictive analysis in the social sciences. So SPSS can handle large and complex data sets, helping market researchers identify patterns, trends, and correlations. It also offers various statistical methods such as regression analysis, factor analysis, and cluster analysis. The paper will discuss the strengths and the weaknesses and the potential uses of SPSS in the market research. And it will also address the research gap in the lack of the empirical studies that examine how SPSS improves insights and decision making in the market research. So these are the literature survey, and these are some of the authors that we found useful for writing the research papers that that provides an overall overview literature of the applications of big data analysis in travel and hospitality sector and or in any other different sectors. So proposed architecture, that how we analyze the SPSS tool. So first there is a problem that what kind of data sets that we require. Then we tells the literature review. Then we analyzes the tool, that is tool familiarization, and then we made a proper search design and how we are gonna use that SPSS tools. Then we collected the data from the different data sets, and we have analyzed the data using the SPSS. These are some of the graphical results of that SPSS using SPSS tools that we have achieved on the different types of data sets, results and analysis. So basically, SPSS is a statistical software that has become increasingly popular in the market search due to the ability to evaluate large data. So, and the number of the gathered data, the user efficiency with the program, and the adequacy of the selected statistical models are the main determinants of SPSS efficiency. It is important to ensure that these factors are taken into account when using SPSS in the market research. And the many mixed method strategies that included a thorough literature review and the data analysis with the SPSS programs are used to accomplish the research objectives. And the study limits were availability and the caliber of the data, the user efficiency with the software, and the appropriateness of the selected statisticals. Future enhancements. So basically, the research could focus on developing SPSS features that ensure compliance and protection laws and promote responsible data handling methods in the market research. This is particularly important given the growing concerns for the data privacy and the ethical use of information. And the predictive and the prospective analytics capabilities of SPSS can be improved by incorporation of AI/ML and approaches. Searches can also investigate how SPSS might use AI/ML algorithms to recognize complicated patterns, produce more precise forecasts, and offer practical market strategy recommendations. And there is a lot of room for improvement for SPSS tools in the field of market search in the future. Exploring these ideas can help SPSS develop, making it even more useful and strong and essential for companies and researchers trying to make sense of the complicated world of market dynamics and consumer behavior. And these are the references. Thank you.
Do we have any questions from the session chairs?
It's fine. Okay.
That's okay for myself.
Thank you so much. And with this, we reached to the end of this session. I would like to thank all the authors who participated in this session, and a special thanks to our session chairs for taking out their valuable time, Dr. Hitesh and Dr. Vivek Sharma. I thank you for your time. And with this, we can end this session now.